Hey everyone, my name's Adam Archer, and today we're going to be taking a look at everything that I keep inside of my survival kit. Links to all the different items will be in the description. This kit is built off of the VanQuest EDCM Huge Organizer, which I found to just be a fantastic organizer. So let's take a look first at the loose items and then look to see what's in the straps and in the different pockets. So first off, we have the Silky Pocket Boy, which is just a fantastic small handsaw. Super aggressive teeth on this, and you can make work of some pretty sizable pieces of wood to start fires or just for wood processing. So really glad that I could fit a saw of that size in here. Next we have the Condor Survival Arrowheads. So it's a set of 3 arrowheads that if you're going to have to make some type of spear or try to get game in the woods, these are going to be much easier to use than trying to make a spear or something any other way. So those are super nice and relatively cheap for the set of 3 when you compare it to some of the other competitors. Next we have a Havalon. This is a scalpel blade, a folding scalpel blade basically made by Havalon. So it can be used for filleting fish, processing game, all that type of thing. So I think that's everything that's loose. So let's go into the individual pockets. So first off we have, let's go with the fire steel. This is a Light My Fire fire steel, which I am considering changing it out for a encased fire steel, one that has some type of cover over it, and that's because I've actually had some of these that have dissolved and gotten all over my pack. Next we have a DermaSafe saw. So this is actually the saw that I use for the arrowheads, as well as a couple other things in here for being able to do more precise cuts in wood and those notches. We have a pocket bellow, basically almost like a car antenna. It's a hollow tube that you stretch out and you can put into a fire in order to keep your face away from the flames, as well as have a direct location of air. Super handy to use because you can get the air exactly where you need it and makes starting fires much easier. Ameritech AAA flashlight goes up to 90 lumens, so very bright for such a small flashlight, and that just uses a AAA battery. And then the lowest it goes is like, I think 0.5 lumens or something, and it will do that for like a couple days. So low enough to where you can still read, but can't really see that far ahead of you. For a striker, I use the Corona. This is a carbide sharpener for like garden tools, but that 90-degree edge throws some huge sparks off of the Light My Fire fire steel. So that works as a great combination. Some fire steels this will not work great on. It actually wants to like jump across it and start making divots rather than going smoothly. So you kind of need to pair your striker with your ferrocerium because some of them don't work well together. We have I think this is called a two-peak ratcheting bit driver and a bunch of bits here. So the bits that I use, flatheads, Phillips, and some Torx that are the normal knife pivot and body screw sizes. So nice combination. Really like this because it's ratcheting. You can take this part off, get a little bit better reach, or use it as kind of a longer handle. So get lots of options, and then the fact that it's ratcheting, can switch that up, go the other direction, makes this a very useful little tool. And then, as I said, the little bits I have in this little sliding case. I have 3 sharpeners in here. These are all DMT diamond sharpeners. We have the ultra, or the extra fine, fine, and then I think this may be coarse. Won't you have to use the coarse? That's, maybe this isn't coarse. I think this may actually be medium. But I won't be using that one too much. Most of what I'll be using is the fine and extra fine, just to kind of strop up the edge, make sure it's always staying sharp. Talking about the edge, why don't we go to the knife, which is the Essie Izula that I have wrapped in a orange paracord handle. And that's just to give it much more grip, makes it more comfortable in the hand, makes it so it doesn't want to wobble, because with such a thin blade, if you don't have a more thick or a thicker handle, it wants to kind of move back and forth in your hand. But with a better grip, doesn't do that. Orange handle also makes it so if I drop it in the woods, much easier to find. In this little sliding case, we have basically cotton and wax. Good fire starter, basically. You just scratch that up, and then you can place that underneath. You can catch this on fire with the fire steel or a lighter, and then set that underneath your tinder. Once it's started the flame, simply pull that out, slide this over, and you can use that again. We have a, let's see what the name of this is. This is called a Better Grip. It's a little crescent wrench. Relatively small, but may come in handy. And then as a kind of companion to that, we have a Knipex Extra Small Cobra, or Knipex. Same company. Depends on how you want to pronounce it. Absolutely fantastic little grips. But with the combination of the two, go well together and are very usable. Going into this back pocket, we have a Hydro Blue water filter. This is a 3-stage water filter. You have the initial filter, which is basically just that, that it's kind of covered. You have a carbon filter in here, which is replaceable, and then a ceramic filter. So, isn't going to be filtering a huge amount of water, but if you need to get a drink, it works. We have some insect repellent. This is Picaridin. I would never put DEET in a kit like this, simply because if it were to leak, DEET will melt anything plastic. I've had watches ruined by DEET. Definitely don't want this kit to end up getting ruined, so I'm pretty happy with this type of insect repellent anyways. So, nice to have that in there. We have some Knipex bolt cutters. These are the 7101 6 or 160. It's 160 millimeter. Ultra nice. You can cut nails with this. If you have to get somewhere and there's a fence in your way, you may be able to use this in an emergency survival scenario. You can get through places that you normally would not be able to. And very small, so you can fit it in a kit like this. Another possible survival spear. This is the Marbles. This was a spear and gig set. I only have the spear in here because the gig, I've actually replaced that with a different item. But simply cut a stick, attach this to it, and you have a very nice spear that's going to be much more usable than if you basically cut a stick so that it was pointy. This is going to be much more durable and much more effective. And I made a Kydex sheath for it to fit in this kit. We have, I don't know how long, this is tarred nylon rope. It's going to, I believe the breaking strength of this is like 300 pounds. So plenty strong. It's not paracord, but it's going to be a lot longer than what you could fit in this size of paracord. So I'm happy with it. We have a miniature grappling hook. on a S-bender. So simply unscrew that, and you have the little hooks that you screw on there. This is actually was designed as an EOD tool, so being able to throw it over tripwires and pull those. I'm not going to be using it for tripwires, but maybe if there's a branch that I want to camp, so I want to camp in a certain spot, I see a branch that's about to fall, I can use this, pull it down, or in combination with the rope. Realistically, what I would probably use it more towards is if I see like a fishing lure stuck in a tree, pulling the branch down so that I could get the lure out, or the bobber or whatever. That's more realistic what I would use it for. Maybe the branch, taking that down too. Next we have some titanium tent stakes. I believe these are made by Vargo Titanium. I used to use, well, actually I use these in combination with another item, which I will talk about a little bit later. Actually, let's take that item out now. So opening up this pocket that you are unable to see currently, and pull out this, which is the Vargo Titanium Hexagon wood stove. So a nice little wood stove. Oh, get that set up like that. And I can put these little tent stakes across here and set a water bottle on top to boil water or something like that. Nice little wood stove. I've actually drilled holes in the side of it to give it a little bit more air circulation. Since this is relatively close to the ground, those bottom holes just don't give enough air to the wood inside. So let's put that off to the side here and continue on with this group. We have some silicone oil, which can be used for keeping knives from rusting, or if I'm doing a lot of sawing, put a little dot of oil on there to keep the saw from binding up. And a little bottle of Tabasco sauce. Parker Jotter pen with a Fisher Space pen insert. So that's the special pen insert that you can write underwater, upside down, do just about anything that a normal pencil can, but with some fancy marketing. So that's everything in the front pocket. Next, let's go over to this. This is the Numith fire piston, which is probably the most fun way that I like to show people how to start a fire. Basically, it takes compressed air, or you basically put a little piece of char cloth on here, put it in here, smash this down, and this compressing the air extremely quickly actually causes that char cloth to create an ember. And that's just a super fun way to start a fire without actually creating sparks or doing like a friction fire or something like that. A way that a lot of people just have never seen. More of a cool thing to show people rather than really a survival item. We have, this is the Exotech, I think, fire sleeve, which just holds a Bic lighter. And I have this in here so that it doesn't accidentally release all the gas when sitting inside of my kit. That's really the reason why I have this in here with a Bic lighter. And a Bic lighter, one of the best fire starting methods you can actually have. On this little keychain holder, we have a Hansen carpenter pencil sharpener. Fantastic for creating really small pencil shavings. So you can just take any stick, sharpen the stick, and you get all these shavings that are fantastic tinder. We have a Vargo titanium whistle that I just have wrapped, and it has a necklace, basically, necklace cord that you can wear. Relatively loud, although I may switch that out for a different whistle. I just have to find one that would fit well in this kit. We have a decent amount of flagging tape, and an extra carbon filter for the, not Life straw, but the Hydro Blue straw. Let's put that back in there. A little Altoids tin with different fire starting material. I think that's Zippo, wax tinder, some char cloth, and some Espit tablets. Okay, so we have, what are these called? I think these are called, I don't remember what they're called, like crocodile clips or something like that. They're basically tarp clips, so you would grab that onto a piece of fabric, and then you could tie the tarp off with that. The one thing to note with these small ones, you do have to make sure that you get a batch that has a decent plastic. Sometimes you'll get these, and the first couple times you'll open and close them, they'll just completely disintegrate in your hands, which you don't want that. So when you do buy these, make sure you get a decent one. Test them out first. For the main flashlight, we have the WowTac A2S, which I keep slightly unscrewed so that it doesn't go off in my kit. This is 1,000 lumens, I believe, at the brightest. So super bright, and is actually a headlight, so I keep the strap in my main backpack that attaches to this, and I can use as a headlight. So let's fold this over and continue on. We have my pocket fishing kit right here, which has all different types of hooked or pre-stringed hooks, some weights, some eyelets, some power bait, tons of hooks here, some soft baits, a bass stopper worm that I think it's a scented worm. They work absolutely fantastically. A bobber, string, and this is actually a hot glue stick, which works well for attaching like the arrowheads and that stuff to sticks, as well as a DermaSafe knife, which is basically just a little razor blade. But all that in a little, I guess this is a pill box, but makes a fantastic little fishing kit, which I have done a video on this fishing kit on its own. So continuing on in these pockets, that's all that's in there. We have another Condor product. This is the Pocket Pike set. So these are basically gigs. As you can see there, 2 huge spikes on there. Would be super effective for catching, not trout, but carp or something like that. And you get 3 of them. Just attach that to a stick, and that's going to be very durable and very effective at catching fish. So if you can't catch them with the fishing set, you may be able to stab them. We have a sample Right in the Rain notebook, so that works well with the Fisher Space Pen insert. And then slid in the different pages, I have a little magnifying glass, or not magnifying glass, a Fresnel lens, and some replacement blades for the Havalon knife. A Micro Series signal mirror. You can see that. And then we have a zippered pocket. This is where I took the titanium stove out of, back here. We have an emergency poncho, which is probably almost as old as I am, so I need to replace that. A foil mylar survival blanket. A plastic drop cloth that I've cut down to, I believe, 6 feet by 6 feet, which in combination with the foil mylar blanket, you can make something like a survival shelter or some other type of shelter that would be super effective. a pair of disposable sunglasses. If you're not able to see, it's going to be hard to survive, so protects your eyes from extreme sun, especially if it's winter, reflecting off the snow. That's going to be hard to see, so nice to have, and super small. I mean, ultra lightweight. Might as well throw it in your kit. A gallon Ziploc bag with some, what are these called? Aqua tabs that are now expired. So I do need to replace the aqua tabs in here. And I have a tea bag in here also that's definitely expired as well. So that's everything in that pocket as well. So let's go to the outside of this kit. So it has a front pocket also, which I keep some Gorilla Tape and a bunch of zip ties. So the zip ties you can use for normal zip tie things, or with, let's see, which one was it? Probably works best with this survival spear. Instead of having to tie using the rope, you can simply take a zip tie or two of them using that to attach it to a stick. Much quicker, especially if you see an animal that you have to get right away. Time may be rather important. On the outside of this, I also have other zip ties that I've put, as you can see right there, on the side. Another one right here. And then the last thing that I really have, this last survival item, is this little combination whistle, compass, and magnifier. So, oh, and thermometer. Forgot about that. Oh, long video, but not 30 minutes long. Almost. So anyways, thank you for watching. Hopefully you've seen something that you would like to add to your survival kit or that you think is interesting. Let me know your thoughts. I tried to go through the items rather quickly because if I went through and slowly talked about each individual item and its usage, this video could definitely be an hour long. And didn't want that. I think it is an appropriate length for showing all the different items. In the description, or in the comments, I'm going to put some frequently asked questions. I know people are going to comment about, oh, is this the only things you use? No, it's not. Actually, let me just go through some of the frequently asked questions right now. So, no, this is not all the items that I have on me when I'm in the woods. I also have a backpack that this kit goes into that has things like a sleeping bag, a tent or hammock, some food, water, water filter, flashlights, full-size axe, knife, all that type of stuff. I do have a main bag, and this is kind of a supplemental or an emergency style thing. The weight of this kit is 5 pounds, almost 5 pounds exactly, with all this stuff in it. I know people sometimes ask the price of all the items. I don't know. I've bought them over the past probably 5 or 6 years. I think I've gotten discounts on some of the items or waited for sales and that type of stuff. So I did not pay the full retail price that if you were going to add them all to your cart on Amazon right now that you would be paying. And also from previous survival kit videos, I have earned more than what I've paid on this entire kit and just the YouTube ad revenue. So thank you for watching. That's highly appreciated, as it does allow me to build up my kit more. I think that's really the main frequently asked questions, whether that is the size of the kit, or how much I've paid, if I use anything else other than this kit. Anyways, so thank you for watching, and have a great day. Bye.